Hey y'all. I just wanted to do a quick video and talk about the shell for a little bit, explain some of the commands and how the shell works just a tiny bit. This will be a pretty quick video, but I wanted to give you kind of an introduction to the shell. So the shell is a program that represents a command line interface to let you control your computer by typing commands. What this means is that you're basically doing the same thing that you would do when you're clicking on files and folders, except for you're doing it by typing. So I recommend using Commander if you're on Windows and Terminal if you're on a Mac. Commander lets you do some more universal commands that aren't available on Windows by default, so that's why I recommend that. Terminal on Mac pretty much uses all the universal basic commands that you should have. So first I'm going to talk about directories. Directory is the same thing as a folder on your computer. So when you're using a shell, you always have a current working directory, which is the folder that you're currently in. And you can view, edit, and run files in that folder. So right now I am in the source folder, and you can see that here. And this represents the path starting at the base of my hard drive all the way down to whatever folder I'm currently in. And you're always in a folder, and that's called your current working directory. And when I refer to a root directory, whether I'm in the Discord or we're in a class or a video or whatever, I'm usually talking about the base folder for your project. So you can always have nested folders inside of your project, but when I'm talking about the root directory, I'm talking about the highest level. And it kind of works like a tree where you have one base folder and you can have a bunch of different folders inside of that folder, just like you would see in your user interface on your computer. So let's go over some commands. The first one I want to talk about is ls, and ls stands for list, and it will print out to the console all of the files and folders in your current working directory. So right now I'm in source, which is the main directory that I personally use for all my personal projects. And if I type ls, it'll show me those folders and it'll just print them out for me like this. And these are just some random folders of personal projects that I work on. And so this will show you all of the unhidden folders and files, but if you have any hidden files or folders, it won't show you those. So to do that, you have to type ls space -a, and that will list all of the hidden files and folders as well as the unhidden ones. So I threw a hidden file in here, which just starts with a dot, and any file or folder that starts with a dot is going to be hidden when you type ls. So it's a good thing to keep in mind and remember. And you can also give ls a path of the directory you want to view. So if I wanted to view all of the files in Code Commune, which is the directory for the website, I'll type ls and then Code Commune, and it'll list out all of the files that are inside of that directory. The next one I want to talk about is cd, which is a very important command. It lets you change the directory, so that's how you navigate in and out of folders in the command line. So you type cd and you type the name of the folder you want to go to. Let's go into Code Commune, and now you'll see that my working directory changed. And if I type ls, it'll show me those same ones that it showed me before when I typed ls Code Commune. And then another important thing to note with cd is that you can always get out of a folder by typing ... So you do cd ... and that refers to the directory above the current directory. So we're currently in Code Commune. If I type ... it'll go to source. And I can type ... and that'll go all the way back up to river here. But for now, I'm just going to go back into my source folder, and if I type ls again, you can see that we're back in the source folder. So if we want to create a directory, we use the command mkdir, which just stands for make directory, and you give it a name. So we can call it whatever we want, and that will create a directory for us. If I type ls, you'll see we now have my folder right here. So we can cd into my folder, And if I type ls again, you'll see that there's nothing in here. To create files, we use the keyword touch, and that creates a file for us. So if I wanted to have an HTML file in here, I can say touch index.html, and if I hit ls again, it'll show index.html because that's the only thing in here. And of course we can create more directories inside of here, more files, whatever we want, and they'll all be created within this folder. To open a file or folder just in your file explorer, you'll want to type, so let's go back into source. You want to type start if you're on Windows, and then type the name of the folder. So code commune. If I type start code commune, it's going to open up my file explorer. You can't see that right now, but it did. And it just lists all the files in there. Also, to start in the current working directory, you can use dot. So dot refers to the current working directory. So say if I'm in code commune already and I type start dot, then it will open the code commune folder because that's the directory that I'm currently in. So yeah, dot refers to the current working directory, dot dot refers to the directory above the directory that you're in. So I also want to real quick mention that if you're on a Mac, you will use open instead of start. So basically the same thing, it works the same way, but you just type open. For me, that won't work because it doesn't know what open is, but if you're on a Mac, it will know what it is, and it'll open that folder or file. And then another important one is if you have Visual Studio Code installed, you can just type code and then the name of the directory you want to open, and it'll open that in Visual Studio Code, which is really handy if you start getting used to using the shell to navigate and create files and folders and all that kind of good stuff. So if I type code dot while I'm in code commune, it's going to open that up for me in Visual Studio Code. And then the last one I wanted to go over real quick is clear, which I use compulsively. And if you've seen me type in the command line at all, you've seen me type clear a bunch of times. I pretty much do it after every command. All it does is it clears out the console, so it looks real nice. And that's pretty much it. So you've got list, CD, you can make directories, you can make files, and I think that's most of the main stuff. If you have any questions about any commands or anything you don't know how to do in the command line, please let me know. And that's all I've got for you guys.